Hi everyone, welcome. Mary Jo Feely with Fourth Dimension Healing. This video is the second of a 6-part video series that I've created entitled Healing Body, Mind, Spirit with Gemstones. Each video is going to be exploring different aspects of overall health, and today this particular video is going to be specifically addressing how we can work with crystals and gemstones to support physical healing. When I'm talking about physical healing, I'm talking about the health conditions, the issues, the illnesses that settle into our physical body, into our cells, into our bones, and they need a little bit of oomph to be able to help them shift back out. Prior to actually settling into our physical body, these same imbalances and blockages were occurring within the energy field. However, we all have particular energies that settle in a little bit more deeply, and once they are in the physical form, they become denser, and so they're actually going to require a denser type of stone, a stone that has a more deeply magnetic vibrational frequency that works with the earth to be able to help loosen and release those blocks. So the stones that we're going to be taking a look at today are amber, shungite, almondine garnet, black tourmaline, and hematite. Now, if you've already seen part 1 of this video series, you've already had a heads up as to which stones I'll be working with, so perhaps you even got those in front of you. If so, that's fabulous. I'd like you to work with your stones and take a look at them as I move through the ones that I have with me today. If you would like to get some of these stones and you don't have them, feel free to go and check out my online shop. The link is below. Anything that you order, I can get to you fairly quickly so that you can then begin working with them right away. So the first stone I'd like to talk about is amber. Now, amber is actually not really a stone. We consider it a mineraloid because it is fossilized tree sap. And while it's been around a very long time to turn a gooey sap into a very hard substance, it does not have an internal crystalline structure that many of the other gemstones and crystals have. That doesn't mean that it is not without its healing properties. So I have a couple pieces that I brought with me today just so that you could see an example. There's a lot of amber out on the market that is not authentic amber. So you're going to want to make sure you're purchasing from a reputable source, and I am always very careful with the sources that I work with for the stones that I carry. Amber, when you rub it with your thumb, will have a bit of a tackiness. It will also begin to get warm, so that's a really wonderful way for you to be able to quickly check, is this plastic? Is this made by humans, or is this created within the earth? Amber has a frequency that allows us to be able to anchor our own energetic roots down into the earth, connect with those healing vibrations of the earth, and very gently draw those energies up into our physical body. Amber is very light. This reminds me that amber is a gentle stone to work with. It is very calmly and very gently going to help loosen and release some of those blocked energies. Amber has been around a very long time, and it's gone through a metamorphosis, so to speak, a transformation from sap into this hardened amber. And it reminds us that we also can go through this transformation, loosening up some of those hardened areas and shifting them back out. So amber is a wonderful stone, connects with the earth energy, works really lovely for overall physical healing when we are really needing to focus in on our physical health. The next stone I'd like to talk with you about is shungite. Now, shungite comes in 2 different varieties. Shungite is made of carbon, and it actually is fairly unique in that it has no internal structure. It is very light. Very powerful at helping to clear electromagnetic clutter out of the energy field and keep the energy field really clear. I like to tell my clients when I'm working with them, and also my students, that it's easy for us to envision that we have an energy field. I'd like to take it a step further and have you begin to also recognize that in a way each cell has its own energy field. So while shungite, and again this is regular shungite, it can be shaped. I carry spheres, I carry pyramids, and I carry these tumbled pieces. So it can clear the energy field of electromagnetic frequency disruptions, and it also can do the same thing at a cellular level. This is an example of elite shungite. Now, elite shungite is about 98% pure carbon. Here's another piece of regular shungite. This is around 48% carbon. This is denser, it can be shaped. Elite shungite will crumble, it's very fragile, very friable. I carry both in my shop, depending on what it is that you'd like to work with. I will also often wear a piece of this, either in a pocket or around a pendant, to support overall general physical healing. If I am working with any particular issues that really require me to be very present and aware of how I'm doing physically, and think particularly if you have an illness, if you have a cold or a flu or headaches, and you really need to bring your awareness to yourself, back to really good self-care, and really anchor into taking care of yourself in a very nurturing way. Any of these stones can be really helpful because they invite us back into our physical body. Almondine Garnet is another stone that I enjoy working with. Here's a larger polished piece. I have a couple other pieces I wanted you to see. This is a smaller polished piece. You can see the natural facets that show up. And here is a raw piece. Almondine Garnet has a very deep ruby blood red type of coloring. And it reminds me that this is the sort of stone that we can work with when we are needing more energy, feeling as if we have kind of run out of steam, especially when we're doing deep healing work, whether it's around cellular functioning or simply just re-amping up with taking care of ourselves. Perhaps we haven't been getting the rest we need. Perhaps we haven't been eating as well. Perhaps we're just extremely stressed and busy and we need to do a reset. Almondine Garnet will pull up this really vital life force energy from the earth right up through our feet, right up through our root chakra, and be able to really support an inflow of very powerful life force energy. So this would be an example where if you're in a sense of feeling depleted, this may be very helpful for you. Now, on the physical plane, we run into a lot of extra energetic clutter that isn't ours. We really don't benefit from it. And we're constantly running into each other's energy fields, and that can be really good, and it can sometimes not be quite so helpful. So a stone that I like to really work with at a physical level to be able to help do clearing and releasing of some of the physical debris or the energetic debris that's landed in our physical body is to work with tourmaline. Now, tourmaline comes in a lot of different colors and the frequencies change depending on the color. I work with black tourmaline a lot. So here's an example of a piece of raw black tourmaline. Now obviously this one's too big to put in a pocket, but it certainly could sit next to a bedside table, or if you're resting at home recovering from a virus or from simply just being run down and worn out, you can keep this near your environment. Anytime we work with a stone and keep it within about a 3 to 4 foot proximity of us, it is intersecting and interconnecting with our energy field. So even though those the stone may be over here a little bit, it's getting into our energy field and then able to help slowly work into our physical body for healing. So this is a wonderful stone to support clearing, physically clearing out what we don't need anymore. Now I brought a couple other pieces of black tourmaline to also show you. This is a smaller piece of rough or raw tourmaline. Again, when we're working with physical healing, what we're really working with is an invitation of those stones, those crystals, and even the mineraloids that we find in amber that are going to help really resonate with those low chakra levels, and that chakra, that red root chakra at the base of our chakra column, is about physical health. And so all of these stones resonate with that root chakra to really bring in the stamina, really bring in the energy that we're going to need to be able to physically reset what is out of alignment and causing us to not feel well. Now black tourmaline is a hard stone and can also be tumbled. And here's an example of a tumbled stone. And you're going to know some of the stones that are tumbled are small, and they're beautiful for putting in a pocket, putting in a pouch, perhaps slipping under a pillowcase at night so that you can have that stone in and around your energy field during nighttime. And then you don't have to be wondering, where am I going to put this stone? Now, any of these grounding stones also can be really beneficial way down at your feet. So if you're feeling like I really need to be present, I need to be grounded, I need to really connect with the earth because I am really depleted, you may want to consider slipping one of these in a sock, or even if you're going to be laying around a while, putting one at the base of both feet, right at that very bottom energy center that comes right out the bottom of our feet, right behind the pad of the foot. That's a great way to place a couple stones, especially if you're having some rest time, because walking on stones, of course, would not feel very well at all. The final stone that I'd like to talk with you about today is hematite. Now, hematite is iron ore. It's a very heavy stone. Unlike amber, that's very light, and I talked with you about if you want to have a real gentle kind of connection with your physical body, amber comes in handy. Working with a dense stone like hematite is very helpful because it is iron ore, it is grounding, it is being present. It connects with a vibration in the earth that will help support bones. It will help support that structure. And all healing at the physical level is about connecting with our structure. And that's where all of these stones are able to really help support us. Now, when I showed you the amber and was talking with you about the amber and how it's, it's got this really light, gentle energy, it also carries an energy that is more of a light, feminine, resting kind of energy. It's known as a yin energy. So it's got this real nurturing quality. Hematite, on the other end, is a very heavy, yang energy. It is an energy about be here, get real, do this. And I would say that when you are working with needing to shift some heavy duty blocks or experiences that you may have in your physical body, then hematite is a wonderful stone to work with that. It also really supports the blood. Now, when we think about blood, we think about hemoglobin, which is the iron component of blood that carries the oxygen all over throughout the body. And so this is an external form of that rich iron ore that we also have aspects of within our physical body. The beauty of all gemstones and crystals is that the minerals that are within these various stones are also within us. And I like to think of it that the iron ore in hematite helps the iron ore in me resonate more strongly. And so all of these gemstones and crystals with their varying minerals really are reinforcing the proper functioning of those same minerals within us. So this is a bit of a conversation for you if you are interested in exploring how to work with stones around physical healing. Now, a question I'll get a lot is, when would I use these? And I would say anytime we're not feeling very good, maybe we're tired, maybe we're just feeling a little off, we can go up and intuitively choose which stone we want to work with. We don't have to get really fancy about it. You can actually just walk up and see which stone or stones draw you. Which ones are kind of inviting you to explore. And let's say it's a piece of tumbled black tourmaline. Then I would say place it in your hand and just rest, and you'll get a sense. Just trust that you'll know where to put it. Maybe you'll go, oh, this has to go in my pocket. I'm going to take a nap now. Or, oh, I'm going to take this to work with me, and I'm going to set it where I can see it. It's going to remind me that I have to take care of myself today and eat lunch. So there are all kinds of ways that we can work with stones, not only at an energetic and vibrational level, but also working with them as little touch points to be able to help us with our self-care. You do not need to engage a stone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In fact, sometimes it's too much. So I would say a real easy way to know if you're working a little bit too much with a stone is that if you're working with a stone and you start feeling a little off or a little yucky or maybe getting a little tummy ache or a little headache, first of all, I would say that is the stone you want to work with, because it is resonating with some of what you're releasing within your physical body. But then we don't have to hang on to that stone. We can recognize that it gave us the hint. It's been in our field, in our pocket, in our hand for a while. We can set that down. As you explore the various stones for working particularly with physical healing, keep in mind that it's most helpful to work with one stone at a time. It will be less helpful to take a piece of tourmaline, a piece of shungite, a piece of hematite, and let's go ahead and grab some almondine garnet at the same time. And the reason is that as we begin to experience shifts in our physical health and an improvement of a loosening of some of those blocks, we are not going to be clear as to which of these stones is helping us, because we have 4 stones that we grabbed at the same time. So it's better to simply decide, I'm going to work with hematite. I'm going to work with hematite for a few days. And that's the only stone I'm really going to intentionally work with so that I can notice what is arising. So that's a real good point that I want you to hang on to. Work with these stones. You may have other stones that you're also working with that resonate with the earth frequency. So if you're not sure, go out to my website, go to my gemstone shop and sort by element and sort by earth element. Now these are stones that have a frequency that connects with this physical plane, the sorts of things we've been talking about. Now physical healing also at a earth level, when it comes to vibrations, has to do with home, finances, work, and location, structure. So there are a lot of other aspects that are connected with physical healing that the earth element also supports. Keep in mind though, with this particular video, we really are talking about physical healing of those aches and pains and experiences when we're just not feeling very well. So I invite you to explore healing the physical body with gemstones and crystals. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions. Go ahead and send me a chat through my webpage if you'd like, and I can get back to you that way as well. If there are any stones in my shop that you're interested in or you have questions about, let me know as well. I can get those to you, as I mentioned, fairly quickly. So many blessings as you explore how to heal physically with gemstones. Be well.